If I stumble and fuck up, we've got an outtake, right? We've got an outtake we can use. Hi guys, and welcome to my rig tour video. Obviously here at the Apex Racing Simcentre we've got a lot of simulators, so I'm going to give you guys a sort of brief look at them, but obviously the main focus today is going to be on my rig. I obviously work from here, I compete from here, and we live just in the office block just across the road. So with that, we're going to take you guys for a quick walkthrough of the Simcentre. So the main bit they're in at the moment is the reception area. So there's a kind of chill out area where during endurance events guys can sort of sit and have some food, watch the race on the big screen. All these rigs either side of me here, these are all sort of customer rigs that are available for hire from people who come here or for teammates who come here for special events and stuff like that. So for example, we had like Michele Costantini racing on this rig, Daniele Civisabo was on that one, and so on. We had a bunch of different guys all competing from here during Daytona and Sebring 12. So it's a really cool environment for us to have a sort of LAN environment during, like all these different endurance events. It just creates a much better atmosphere for us, having guys here able to race with us and stuff like that. So yeah, on this side here we've got some sort of trophies and some champagne bottle there as well from the British F4 Esports Championship where Luke Pete won the team's champ. And yeah, we've got some cool pictures up here as well of the Alejandro winning the 2022 Silverstone race in Pesque, Treno winning the Indy 500 for the third time, becoming a triple champion, which is obviously, yeah, a massive achievement. And probably my personal favourite for obvious reasons is this picture here from Riyadh in Saudi Arabia, where I won my first proper race on Rennsport. That was a really special moment. That was during the team's championship where, you know, we were on the outside looking in, and that was a really crucial race for us to bring ourselves back into the hunt, and that kind of got us into the top 6. But obviously, you know, things didn't really go our way in that weekend specifically. So. But yeah, it's still a really cool moment, one of the highlights of my career. Still to be put up on the wall, mind you. It's still in the wrapping, but it's cool to have in here. And then behind me, in here we have the sim room. So come in and take a look. So in here we've got 6 simulators. My one is this one just here, which we'll get to in just a second. As you can see, we've got Jamie doing some Rennsport laps at the moment as we prepare for BOP week. And yeah, that's going to be a really important part of our season. This season is the BOP week in Rennsport. Obviously you need to drive everyone else's car but your own, so you need to try and make their cars look as good as possible. So we've got 3 rigs on one side. As you can see, they're all triple screen setups, or quad screen setups if you like. All got the same gear, they're all VRS through and through. So we've got the Stormforce PCs down by the side with the streaming systems just underneath the seats, VRS, wheel rim and wheelbase and pedals. And this is my rig right here, as I mentioned. So yeah, obviously we've got the custom Puma gloves, the Apex Racing ones from Point Racing. These are awesome gloves. We've got our keyboard tray on the left hand side. You know, Pete's is in a weird spot where he's also got the mouse on the left hand side. I know that bugs him quite a bit, but thankfully mine doesn't have that. Behind here we've got the name board from Katowice, I think it was. Moving on to the wheel rim, as I mentioned before, we've got the VRS wheel rim here. Of course, that's what's used in the ESL R1 Championship whenever we go to LAN events. So for us, it's really important that we have the same equipment here that we do at the LAN, just so that transition period is just a little bit easier. We've also got the VRS quick release to go along with it, and of course the VRS wheelbase, along with a full VRS fully blacked out rig, which I really prefer to the sort of standard aluminium look. The full sort of matte black look just, to me, looks awesome. And then of course the VRS pedals as well. As I mentioned before, underneath the seat we have the streaming system. So it's basically a dual PC system that we have here. As I say, streaming system underneath the seat. Basically allows us to run team streams, so we can run our camera feeds through the top and then send them to the studio upstairs, which is really important for us with all of our team streams that we're doing at the moment. It just takes the load off the main PC. And then speaking of that, we have the Stormforce PC down here. I'll put all the specs in the description below. But yeah, these PCs are absolute monsters. Yeah, Stormforce really hooked us up when Rennsport first came out. We had strong systems before, but we really did start to struggle with FPS, and Stormforce managed to hook us up right before the race was coming up. I think it was round 3 or something. And yeah, Stormforce really hooked us up, and it managed to double our FPS, which really sort of bailed us out that week. I think a lot of guys struggle with FPS, and thankfully we didn't. Here we've got the Beyerdynamics headphones as well. I can't quite remember the exact model number of them, but I will put that in the description as well. I don't believe they make them anymore. unfortunately, but they are probably the best headsets that I've used for any kind of gaming or competing stuff, or competition stuff I should say. And that's all plugged into a GoXLR, which makes life really easy for us with streaming. An awful lot of cables and wiring in there that I don't understand. I don't touch any of that stuff. That's all the guys upstairs that deal with that. But yeah, as I say, this is just really, really important for us, you know, making sure that we're comfortable in the rigs. I think every couple months we sort of go into our rigs and we start adjusting something, you know, this sort of endless, there's always a sort of endless like quest to find comfort, I think, and just try and find any kind of benefit. You know, we spend a lot of time in these rigs. You know, this Sparco seat that we've got here is really, really cool from a real life race car as well. So it's fully FIA approved, really comfortable. But after long periods in the sim, you can start to get sort of sore back, sore legs and stuff like that. So it's really important that your seating position is as ergonomical as possible. One thing that I have struggled with though over the years is definitely back pain. I've tried a lot of different things, a lot of different seating positions, a lot of different wheel angles and wheel heights and stuff, and it's never quite fixed it for me. I think it's just a bit of an issue that I have as, you know, as a result of doing this for so many hours and so many years. Like I've been doing this since 2017, so there's a lot of miles being put down on the sim, and it is intensive. I know it's only a video game and stuff like that, but yeah, there's these wheelbases, they kick out a lot of power, a lot of torque, and ultimately it's only got one place to go, through your arms and into your shoulders and into your back and stuff. So the last thing to go over on this rig then, obviously you've noticed a bit of a difference between Pete's and mine. I'm on the Samsung 49-inch Ultrawide. Again, this is what's used for ESL LAN events, as of course Rennsport doesn't have triple screen support yet. Fingers crossed it comes at some point, but of course with triple screens comes less FPS. So for us, these screens are actually, I've done a fair bit of iRacing at the start of this year and at the end of last year on the Ultrawide, and to be honest, it's actually not too bad. If I was to do iRacing full time, I'd definitely go back to the triples, especially with that PC. It's more than strong enough to run triples, but with Rennsport, that's obviously not an option. But this Ultrawide is still really good, 240 Hz output on that screen as well, 1440p. So the last thing to kind of go over then is the trophies that are within the room. So kicking and dotting around here, we've got some VRS pedals down here. We've got a selection of trophies from our successes over the year. I believe this one is, yeah, this is one of mine. So this was the Petit Le Mans in 2022. 2022. That was the second time that I've won that race. First time in the GT class. I'd won it in the prototype category before, so that was a monumental win for me. It's the first time I've won the same special event twice, but obviously doing it in two different classes was a massive achievement. And 2020, I can't f***ing say it, man. So 2022 was a massive sort of monumental year for me. You know, we started the year off first of all with winning the Porsche GB title, which is what this diecast is here, made by George Simmons, our very own. He does some really great work on sort of recreating our cars in a sort of diecast form. You can see the same with the LMP2 down here, which is to commemorate the Daytona 24 win that the guys got in that class. Unfortunately, I wasn't in that car. Daytona's the one special event left that I want to win that I still haven't yet. It just seems like every year something goes wrong. It's just one of those tracks where I've always had good speed, I've always felt comfortable, but the whole race just hasn't quite come together. So it's the one race left on iRacing that I want to win. So I'm going to keep on coming back to iRacing in the month of January, trying to get that win. But as I mentioned before, this was the GB title. So in 2021, we got second place to Seb, missed out by a handful of points. It might have even been 1 point, I think it was actually. I think we lost it in the last round. Sebi at Brands Hatch was always pretty much untouchable. No matter what I tried, no matter what I did, I just couldn't quite match him. So came home second that year, and then this one here is the champion trophy from 2022 as well. This was a really important win for me. You know, having Sebi back in the series, it was like, okay, this is a redemption season. This is going to be really important to try and win. And you know, me and him had some really great scraps throughout the entire season. He put me under a ton of pressure all year. I think this is probably the hardest competition I've ever done in terms of just pressure. Like in PESC, it's one thing, you know, I managed to finish third in 2022 as well, but I wasn't fighting for the championship. I was mathematically still in with a shot coming into the last round, but realistically I was just too many points behind, so the kind of pressure was off. But when you're leading a championship coming into the last round and you know it's Brands Hatch again, I still had, vague memories of last season. I knew that Brands was going to be the one place that Seb could pull off the miracle and do it. But thankfully, yeah, with the help of Peter Berryman, without him I wouldn't have won that title. He came in clutch several times that year, and we managed to bring home that trophy, and of course the diecast. So yeah, that's a selection of the sort of trophies that we've got. Of course, there's a lot of British F4 success on the left hand side there from Peter and Luke, for obviously Luke being a 2-time driver champion as well in F4, which is an incredible achievement. So guys, that has been a full tour of our sim racing room here at the Apex Racing Simcentre. Yeah, as I say, we've got a lot of memories in this rig, hopefully many more to come. Yeah, it's been a really great journey, sort of moving down to England just over 2 years ago now, and trying to move your whole life from Scotland down to here. It's been tough for not just me, but of course all the guys that are here as well. But yeah, just Apex have managed to sort of get this place built and sustainable, and it's just awesome to be here and compete from here. Of course, the help from VRS to get all the rigs and stuff set up as well. Stormforce have given us a great PC, as I mentioned before. Yeah, hopefully this year this rig will have a few more wins on it. Yeah, just I'm itching to get going again. We've had a long off season, 6 months almost, and we've had a lot of time to think, a lot of time to improve ourselves, of course, but everyone else has had a lot of time to improve as well. So yeah, that's been all from this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.